What's going on? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Attacker Productions presents Time Wars. Today I'm being joined by Jake as we kind of move past the slapping of Bulma and into the realm of gods. It is Beerus taking on Goku, and the question is, does it hold up? Does Beerus go all out? Does Goku win? Let's find out on today's episode. What's going on, Jake?
What's going on, man?
So we are, as you can see, there's an energy marker in the middle of the screen. So few rules for Time Wars. We try to keep it as themed to the archetype of the leader or the character itself. And no secret rares are in this particular matchup. But as soon as things happen when it comes to bans, erratas, rule changes in this case, we immediately put that into effect. So this Time Wars has the Mulligan Shuffle, which is 6 cards. If you don't like them, reshuffle them and draw 6 new ones. And I did get the low roll, so I am going second, so I get the energy marker, which is interesting for Masters.
Yeah, I think time will tell, how the energy marker finds its place in Masters, or even if it has a place in Masters, but when you're not expecting it, it feels really strong for your opponent to just have access to that extra energy.
Yeah. It's so when it comes to Fusion World, to me it doesn't make it much of a difference. When I play Fusion World, I use it like I would play Masters. I don't use it until I need it. But when it comes to Masters, yes, energy markers still look for energy markers don't count as as an energy. It is energy, but it's count towards your energy counts. Like when cards say if you have 2 or more energy or 3 more energy, if you have an energy marker, that doesn't count. So if I have 2 energies in energy marker, that's still only 2 energy. The problem though is that Masters has a lot of cards that can play very cheaply, and having this energy marker in a specific aggro deck can be very powerful. Or it's a thing where you can now, as a turn player too, use all your energy, but as long as you have that energy marker, you're so good. You can still negate stuff. You can still hold off attacks because you have this floating energy just sitting there for you.
Oh yeah, I mean there are 8 drops in Masters that you can play with 1 energy. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So it'll be like you said, it'll be interesting how as time goes on. Um. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the decks now, and today we are playing 2 red-yellow decks, which we are trying as much as possible to stay away from that. But there's only so many Gokus, there's only so many Beeruses that work with certain things, and this is what happens. Red Yellow Beerus
Yeah.
taking on Red Yellow Goku, which particularly for you is Surge, and I'm using set 8. I really wish I had set 24 cards, but I don't.
Yeah, that would be so great in your list. And like you were saying, like I almost built pretty much exactly what you're playing against me right now, just good red yellow. But all of those cards say Beerus or Whis on them. And since this is Time Wars, I kind of wanted to do something different, at least than what my opponent was doing. So I built more like almost like a old school Surge list, kind of, where you're just kind of like taking good cards of those colors and throwing them in. And turns out a lot of cards have come out in recent sets that are good with a red or yellow Saiyan leader, and my leader just happens to be both.
Yeah, and having triple combinations, very good. I like that a lot. I was not expecting that tech. I was expecting this. I was expecting this guy. This 1 energy potential double strike. To what, 25k?
Yeah. And when it attacks, it comes into play, you draw a card, and when it attacks, it's going to KO something. Just really solid yellow battle card. And, now that Ultimate Duo is at 1, this is finding home in a lot more yellow decks that are Goku or Vegeta based.
Yeah. So fun fact for both our leaders. My leader benefits on the front side as much as possible. Discard a red or yellow card, and you get to draw 2. Once I awaken, I lose out on draws. I have to focus on using cards on my drop as combo power to play the rival cards, which hopefully those rival cards have draws on them. So that's why one of my tech choices was these Bulmas, just because it allows me to get a draw on. But for you, when you Surge Awaken, yeah, it's great because you get to draw 3 and resend 1, but you also lose out on draws.
Yeah. So this game really kind of becomes a chess match of matching resources and uh, who's willing to take what kind of damage where, and when you awaken, like you said, you get that combo effect out of the drop area, which is really good in the Z energy era. But Surgecu's got some pretty strong effects on the backside too. Like he can give himself plus 10k in crit whenever he's attacking, or he can just straight up turn off all of your battle card skills as long as it's my turn. It didn't used to be that way. That was a errata, but like you said, we play everything as updated as we can. So
Yeah.
um,
I want to
it's
point.
gonna be it's gonna
Also,
be strange.
yeah, I want to point this out. Um, I don't remember when I realized it, but I was like, "Oh yeah, I could have awakened." It might be now because I swung into your card, and the awakening on this leader is a restand 2, and I'm like, "Oh, that would have changed my turn entirely." I had cards I could have just swung, awaken, uh, activate the battle, the combo card, arrival things, and I completely didn't do any of that.
Which is good because if memory serves, before I got that removal in, I was pretty well on the back foot. I might have the life lead at this point, but like you said, you kind of want to stay on your front side as long as possible. And I'm pretty sure at this point you've got a healthier hand size than I do, and there we see the good old dance.
Yeah, it's the it sucks. Like the fact that the only reason why you should run this particular Z extra card in your Z deck is for Explosive Dance. And now with Z extra decks being increased to 10 cards, you can play 2 of these cards in your Z deck now and be able to just kind of maximize the if you have the energy for it, cool. I'll activate the top effect, get the little small boost, and then just play another one and still be able to do it just fine.
And it's only one energy, right? So you can use it with the energy marker, assuming you've got a red leader. Like overnight, red got a lot of new defensive tools without any cards being printed, just off the rule change.
I wasn't seeing any more Whis now, unfortunately. A lot of the cards I want to play or pop off with my leader's effects, I want to keep in my hand, so I end up charging the crit Beerus, which is a nice card.
Yeah, it's really strong earlier in the game, though, if you ask me.
Yeah. Now, but I'm also looking down what to play because you have this big boy cell, and if I do my turn in the wrong order, it doesn't matter what I play. You're going to neg it out because all you got to do is block twice and it's gone. And a lot of the cards I play can neg out, but if I were to neg out yourself, whatever I'm playing is getting popped as well.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how this card is almost like a miniature cell max, where you put it on the board and then you just kind of dare your opponent to remove it, Like, I'm going to get more out of this card dying than you are. Oh, and by the way, it blocks twice.
Yeah. I can't remember where I was. I think I was looking at your leader. You chose not to block. So I'm going to rival this 6-drop Beerus, which actually rests a card and it can't be switched back.
Yeah, because I actually have to activate the blocker effect in order to get the restand. So that was a really smart way to get around that. And I'm pretty sure at this point I've already surged, so I'm hoping to get as many cards from my life into my hand as possible.
To be able to start using, because I think you need 5 or less life to do it. Here, Beerus offering, you crit the life. what you end up doing, but we're still in the battle step.
Yeah. So I'm still going to be taking some damage here.
Which, now depends what super combos you're running, which I think you're running the same super combos as me. Um, you could have been in a good spot or not. The thing we haven't talked about was this was an OG leader that you're playing that you used to really enjoy. And I think you still like it, but the problem it's been nerfed out the ass.
Yeah. Now that games are honestly going a bit longer than they used to back in the day, you can't spend nearly as much time on your backside. And that skill negation effect on your awakened side um was really so much better when you could use it on your opponent's turn. I know it was way too strong. You could just stun the entire board and turn off every double, triple, critical, dual attack card on the board as long as it didn't have barrier. But I feel like in today's game, that power level of effect kind of exists on a one drop negate called Peel Off Shumai. So honestly, I feel like they should do another run of the Surge leaders. Like, don't errata them again, but just like print new ones and maybe try and dial the power level a little bit more correctly because I really like that mechanic of awakening where you can kind of do it early, but you'll lose out on some stuff. And then you get effects with the cards that you've put underneath.
Now I know one of yours, but I think both of your effects you have to do during your turn, though, right?
Yeah, that's the errata. It used to
Yeah,
be during
like
either turn.
I think the other one is still safe to be during your turn, but I guess they just don't want to vomit text on the car. What vomit fix? Because
Yeah.
the other one you said it's blink, the other one's a plus 10k crit. You know, like having just that 10k combo will just be nice to kind of get out of certain attacks. And ideally, it would have been nice to have actually. I think the leader we wanted to use initially was the set 16. I think blue Crimson Goku, but that one got banned. So like we were kind of idea like we need a red Goku, like that's a Goku god.
Yeah, and then it just ended up being red yellow versus red yellow this time.
Yeah.
Well, we're already in Battle of the Gods. Time Wars has been moving pretty quick. How long have we been doing it now?
Uh, it's been this is episode 16. I want to say
Yeah,
so about 5 months of videos I think so far.
not too much longer, and we'll have the whole series.
Yep. And in case anyone's curious, what comes afterwards is I think we're gonna do fantasy matchups like Goten and Trunks. Uh, I think one's I don't want to talk about those. And then we're gonna go into the movies, and then we're going to GT afterwards.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, we just don't have the list for GT yet, but I don't think. Yeah, we have the list for movies and fantasies right now. And obviously, this match, even the movies that have been adjusted to Super, we won't be incorporating. So like Beerus versus Goku, we're not doing that. We're not doing. We already got down the line. Will be Frieza versus Goku, or Frieza, one or the other. I can't remember. Yeah, so you having access to yellow leads. It's always fun too. So I can only
Yeah.
tackle one more battle card now, I think.
But you're going to make the most of the battle step because Forbidden Power doesn't actually negate. So it looks like you're going to rival this Beerus Unceasing Rage here and just go ahead and kill out this cell because seems like you're done with it hanging over your head.
Yeah. Like I said, any given moment, it's going to pop a card, so I might as well just force you to do it. And then that way, whatever I attack, battle card attack with next, I know it's going to where I want it to go. Which will
Yeah,
probably
that
be
was a good move.
the crit one. Yeah. Oh, it's not the crit one. That's
Uh,
interesting.
Looks like you know you can't finish me this turn, so you just tried to remove the Vegeta.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm also keeping it locked down too with other card effects, I think. Just in case you played Zarbon, to maximize this Vegeta's potential.
Yeah, I've got the yellow Goku in the Z deck that will restand it, but not the Zarbons. I felt like that was a little too out of theme for red yellow Saiyans.
See here, we're forced to pass turn. Also, I think I charged a multicolor that turn too. Yeah.
Still got plenty of energy up thanks to that marker. It looks like 4
Yep.
active.
Yep. This is one of those moments also where, yeah, this was a not expecting this. I'm like, okay. You obviously have to, yeah. I was like, you left the red yellow open. Let me see that counter. And you went, all right, cool.
Yeah, I've always wanted to play this card. It's just not good, right? But I really like the fight that it represents, and then red yellow has always been one of my favorite color combinations. But you'll see why right here. You can just remove battle cards during the battle step, and my linchpin that I pretty much built my whole deck around doesn't have barriers, so it just gets popped before it can even make use of its triple attack.
I was about to mention, like, this is one of those things where, like, yeah, Beerus doesn't draw anymore. And, like, a couple turns, I've been doing rivals twice, in one battle. And I'm thinning my hand out. The, the benefit to that is that my board is going really wide, and you cannot clear that board right now. And then every card I play either negs a card out, draws me a card, switches a card to rest mode on your side. So, like, I have plenty of options with these few Beerses I am getting to play with. And here you proc the ability, give your leader a 10k crit, and you come up to 30k. And I think I burned the energy marker here. Just because I don't want to take the crit. Yeah.
You might as well.
Which is what I said before. Like, to me, I was able to go tap all the way out, but still have the floating energy marker as a last line of protection, which is kind of how I play Fusion World. And so, like, there's a level of safety. Now, granted, yeah, is there a world out there where you could have rested that energy marker? Yeah, energy markers can be switched to rest mode. It's the problem is when I expended is when it goes away.
Yeah. Well, with Bergamo gone, that's pretty rough to do nowadays. Yeah. There's not a lot of cards left that'll rest your opponent's energy.
There's a card you could still play, sir. I think you could play.
There's a couple.
There's an SS3 Goku I think you could play in this deck.
Yeah. I think I have to have a Z leader or a Z battle card in play. And
yes, I think so.
That'd be a little bit hard for me to accomplish right now, especially because I'm down all the way at 2 life.
Oh yeah, there's the bar. Like I remember you like at one point in the game you went, that's too late.
Yeah, I drew that way too late in the game for it to be useful.
Here we're going my turn. And no, we're still defending, right?
No, I think you're attacking here. With this.
Yeah. I was attacking. Yeah.
Play. Yeah.
Because it was double strike, yeah. But yeah.
Well, no, you played the guy that had offering again, and I was like, I'll just crit the life.
Yeah, I asked you, do you just want to crit the life in a calling game?
Yeah. I was completely tapped up with 2 cards in hand. The fighting was on the wall.
So with that being said, Beerus did get it this time. But yeah, thank you for tuning in and have a great one. Bye. Until next time.